Let's start off with a question. Are you better at doing things, completing tasks, making sure stuff gets done, or would you prefer to just chill out and not deal? So we are going to be talking about the Virgo Pisces axis today because you can't have one without the other. And we all embody both sides of that spectrum. The part of us that says there's stuff to be done and things that need to happen, and I'm going to lead the charge to make sure that they get done and that they're done perfectly. And the part of us that says, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so tired. I don't want to deal. I don't want to have this conversation. I just want to take a nap. And that's the Pisces side. Now, of course, I'm giving you some shadow sides of both of those. Virgo also brings some amazing gifts. If you haven't watched the Virgo gift episode, go ahead and do that. It's in this series called Astrology for Awakening, where I am going through all of the facets of all of the sun signs, helping you to see yourself differently. And they are all well worth listening to again and again. As I go through and edit these are edited talks from my season 5, Star Narratives, the podcast. I go through and I edit and I hear things that I needed to hear. I did the talk a year ago and I hear them and I think, oh my God, okay, that makes sense. Thank you, past Natha. Anyway, I am Natha Perkins of Electra Astrology, and this is Astrology for Awakening. Now, I've also gone through the archetype of Pisces. Those episodes are under the same playlist. So if you want to learn more about the positive sides of Pisces and really get into that archetype, you can find those episodes. But what we're going for is a balance between the positive sides of Virgo and the positive sides of Pisces, which in the case of Pisces is about the spiritual connection. So we can do all of the human stuff, getting all the stuff done and doing a good job. And if we have a spiritual connection and a trust in the divine flow, then we are cooking with gas, as they used to say. So if you like my style and you would like to work with me privately with an astrology reading, I have many other ways to work with me. Find me at electraastrology.com and let's get into it. Virgo Pisces.
We have been on a long ride of Virgo qualities and characteristics. So if you have missed any of the last few episodes, listen to those because you've heard me say Virgo, I think, is probably one of the trickiest archetypes that we all have, that we are all dealing with. And right next to that is good old Pisces. And so we're going to talk about both of those today. So full disclosure here, I am very Piscean. I have way too many Pisces planets in my chart. And so I understand this archetype almost too well. Although one of the difficult things about Pisces is that it's very hard to understand archetype. And so we have been talking about Virgo and how Virgo is all about how we human. And it's the black and white. It's right in front of me, therefore I know it exists kind of energy. And we love Virgo. There are so many benefits to embodying that Virgo that we all have within us because it gets stuff done. We get to show up. We get to help and serve. We get to answer questions. We get to cross things off of our to-do list. We get the chores accomplished. Like it is a very powerful energy. And it can also be a lot because when we are just in our human selves and we're doing all the things and answering all the questions and serving all of the people, it's really draining. It is almost more than many of us want to deal with on a daily basis and more than we want to handle. And so if you have a lot of Virgo in your chart, you are probably prone to overdoing it and perhaps to even having a bit of a myopic view about how life works, because Virgo is an earth sign. And the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, are all very logical in their approach. And so these are the signs where we say the tree has green leaves. And I know that they're green because I'm looking at them. And so with earth, we can be very literal. This has to be done. This is the right way to do it. This person said this and it means that. This is my perception. And with Virgo, we're also looking at how we perceive things. It's ruled by Mercury. And we're also looking at how we take in the information and hopefully digest it, but a lot of times we don't digest it and it just kind of sits around and causes this energetic or emotional bloat that we then start to get really critical. And we can get critical with ourselves. We can certainly condemn others. There's a righteousness that goes along with Virgo. So that's something to watch in yourself, as we've talked about over the last few weeks, that we don't want to let our Virgo energy run us. And usually when our Virgo energy is running us and we're overwhelmed, we're overburdened, we are positive that we're right, we're trying to make other people think what we think, that is a sign that our Virgo is out of balance. And when Virgo is out of balance, what do? Well, ideally, we go into Pisces, and that is true of all of the zodiac signs. Every zodiac sign has a sister or a brother or a counterbalance. And when we are too heavy on one side, we must go over into the other side and make an attempt to balance out. And that is part of what we learn as we work with astrology and we learn ourselves. All right, so when you are overdoing it on the side of Virgo and you're trying to balance it out with the energy of Pisces, what does that look like? Pisces is really hard to understand because we can't hold things in our hand and identify it when it comes to Pisces. There often isn't any obvious color or smell or logic to Piscean things. Pisces is about the imagination, the intuition. It can connect us with the ethereal realms. It can also bring us into fantasy. With Pisces, it's hard to know what's real and what is true, unlike Virgo, where we generally feel that we know what's real and what's true. But with Pisces, there is this relaxation around having to control everything because everything is out of our control. When we dip into our Piscean side, it's like we are diving into the magic. We are connecting in with higher power, with the divine, with God. We are working with the things that are outside of us, plant medicine, the crystal and rock kingdom, animal totems, the elementals, all of the things that many parts of society tell us are fake or unreal or don't work, or even that we are crazy for wanting to spend time or energy or focus on those things. And the reason I believe that there is so much teasing around the idea of woo-woo, it does connect us in with the world of what is intangible and what we are unable to prove. And that makes a lot of people very uncomfortable. I think also that there's something about learning how to work with the Piscean understanding that there is no reality and that reality as we know it is ever shifting and changing, that there are spiritual connections that are always here, even if we don't understand. It's hard to prove those things. And if you are a quote, trust the science kind of person, what do you do when you can't prove something and you don't understand it? But on the other hand, surely we know we have all had moments where we have felt that we are connected to something greater than us, that we have picked up a rock or a crystal and it has imparted information to us. There have been times that we have all prayed and our prayers have come true. We've witnessed miracles. We've had signs and downloads and synchronicities. And there's information and solace that comes to us from places that we know are not human. So Sagittarius is the sign that relates specifically to the religions. And those are the way that man typically has taken spirituality and tried to translate it into something that's palatable and something that works. I think generally trying to translate it into something that makes man the one that is in control. And Pisces is the spirituality that is not in our control at all. So take a deep breath and let's just sense into this dynamic field of awareness that is always with us, whether we recognize it or not. And Virgo energies very much distract us from this dynamic field of awareness because when we're busy, our minds get so connected to the task at hand that we lose touch with everything else that is here in this moment. So go ahead and close your eyes. And take some deep breaths into the center of your body. And just feel into what is going on in your nervous system. Notice what you feel in your physical body. You might feel some tingling. you might notice there is an entire ecosystem of energy that is pulsating through your body you might not have paid a single bit of attention to so far today. So pay attention to it. Become aware of the boundaries of your body, where your skin touches the air or touches your clothing. And then see whether you can become aware of your own consciousness existing outside of the boundaries of your body. See whether you can expand your consciousness into the room that you're in. And just take a minute and sit with what you are noticing. And oftentimes, when I do this practice, it feels almost as if there are waves of different flavors of energy that are coming my way, similar to swimming in the ocean. When you swim through a warm pocket of water and then you find a cold pocket, or even when you're riding your bike and you go through a little sprinkle of rain and then you bike out of that rain. So when you're sensing into the dynamic field of awareness, there's all of this information available to you, but it's all about sensing. There's nothing to prove. And if you were to sit with me in a room and do this, you and I might both feel energetic differences. We might not be experiencing the same thing. And that's one piece of Pisces that can get very confusing. It's never the same for anybody. My experience of God is probably very different from your experience of God. My experience of being connected in with the ethereal realms is probably really different than other people. When we are in this present moment, or we are sensing into this awareness, the human tasks, the human needs tend to fall away. And we're able to tune in with what's really important and with what's real and true, which is more difficult to do when we are working with Virgo. And when you have moments of silence and stillness where you are sensing into the energetic field around you, you're becoming aware of all of that extra information. The veil between the physical reality and the non-physical reality begins to part, and understandings, downloads come to you. Ways of seeing the world come to you. So you could do plant medicine journeys to get to this state, or you can do them simply by taking time to tune in to your body and to this field of awareness. The answers are all here. There's nothing to do. There are no tasks to accomplish here. And in fact, the information that comes here is not always clear. Sometimes it's simply a feeling. Sometimes it's more about relaxing of the nervous system temporarily than it is about getting answers. And the more time that you're able to spend sensing in, this is present moment work. We've been talking about this, especially through Gemini season. But this is being right here with what is. And you'll find, if you can practice this, you'll find that it is an incredible remedy for nervous system dysregulation. And it's as easy as closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths and just feeling into what is around and feeling into the textures of the energy that may be buzzing around your head, or the contraction that's going on in your solar plexus. I mean, this is very simple stuff. It is good to cultivate a practice of tuning in, especially if you are naturally very Virgo. And I think most of us are, and this is why I say Virgo and Pisces are the two most difficult archetypes, because we get busy. We want to do stuff. We want to fix stuff, cross stuff off our list, please people. And because Pisces is so uncertain and unclear, there are strong collective beliefs around if you can't see it, it's not real. And so we are not trained to be tuning in to this ethereal, pulsing energy that is always accessible and always around us. So that is your homework this week if you choose to accept it. So spend some time tuning into these realms. And it is in these realms that you're going to find your intuition is heightened, your compassion gets really strong, your dreamy and sensitive nature is able to just be there without the human mind trying to make sense of everything. Pisces isn't the place for the human mind. Mercury does not like Pisces. Mercury wants the facts, the information, and wants to make sense of things. And so Pisces can be a little bit tricky because Pisces says there's no sense to be made. It's simply about sensing what is here. So practice this week. Practice taking time to tune in and feel.
All right, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope that you learned something, and I will see you all soon.